the girls or something we was talking about? And he was like, you can't talk about that because what happened in the basement last night.
Hey, come on, oh, that's getting cut out. That's our mad suspect. That's our mad suspect. Right? Nobody in no basement. It was a podcast location.
Overdue.
What's up?
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Overdue. I'm here with my man M3.
But you already know.
And my man V.
What's going on?
And today we're here to talk about some very important topics. Not really, but y'all get where we coming from. Go ahead, like the video, subscribe, and also leave those thoughts in the comments. We greatly appreciate it.
Do all that.
Oh, fine. Are you gonna do like the cue card thing?
What I say last time?
What?
You have to put it in when you upload the video. It's a YouTube feature.
Alright, then we're gonna do that then.
You upload it, you gotta go scroll down and be like, no, it's the second or is it third? I think it's the second one. Second option. Right before when you check for copyright.
Mm-hmm.
The one before that, you go to end screen and you can put on subscribe.
But that's the end screen. I'm talking about within the video.
How am I gonna put a video within a video?
They don't got the annotations anymore? Fuck it. That ain't what we talking about. We talking about the legend himself.
R. Smelly. R. Kelly.
from the hometown.
Finna be R. Smelly.
Did y'all see the memes of him singing Bump and Grind in jail?
No. But that is the main problem that I have a problem with. That's what I'm about to make a video about.
What?
Everybody is happy. Not because he's going to jail for what he did, it's because they got new meme material. Everybody got jokes about, like, that's the main thing that's happening right now. Ain't nobody saying, oh, they're happy because he's off the streets, or they're happy because the children are safe, or whatever the case may be.
Because they ain't.
They're not. They just happy because they get to laugh at somebody's downfall now.
I
make
mean,
things about it.
We were just talking about this a little bit before the podcast. He got locked up for sex trafficking and racketeering.
One-man racketeering case.
And yeah, y'all started to say there's some discrepancies in it. So you were saying that the racketeering was...
It's just like 6ix9ine. When he took down his old crew, that was racketeering because there was a bunch of people in a group doing a bunch of illegal stuff.
Right. How they used to bring down the mob and shit.
Yeah, one person can't do a racketeering. It would just be one person committing a bunch of crimes. Racketeering is like an organized group. And you can't be an organization with one person.
Well, what about the managers and stuff?
They didn't get arrested. They're not even getting looked at.
You don't know that.
I mean,
shit, we didn't know this R. Kelly case was going on. They wouldn't have took
down the top without, like, getting all of them together. They wouldn't just arrest R. Kelly and just be like, all right, we'll just arrest the other people.
The little guys later.
It would be all right. They can just stay on the street now.
And you were saying there was something up about the sex trafficking.
No, I mean, I guess with the racketeering thing, I agree. That shit is weird. I don't know how they got money on racketeering with only one nigga, but I think a lot of it just has to do with, like, whatever the racketeering law is or whatever it is. I'm sure there's some sort of, like, something where they don't really need a bunch of people. I'm sure it's something crazy like that. Same thing with the sex trafficking thing. It's like, based on what we know, or based on at least what I know, what he did doesn't fit like the traditional sex trafficking like definitions. Like
what we think is sex trafficking.
What the average person thinks of sex trafficking is like, you know, your shorty getting tricked into getting picked up at Walmart parking lot and then, you know, getting drugged somewhere and then next thing you know, she in Dubai. Next thing you know, she in Dubai like stripping for like rich billionaires. Like niggas think of like sex trafficking like crazy like that.
And stuff. But like Matt Gaetz is actually had the same thing about sex trafficking and what he did.
Matt Gaetz?
He's a politician.
Okay.
And so he like have a buddy of his and he goes like on vacations like somewhere and then he has his buddy like find these teenage girls and then fly them out to him. So that's across state lines. So that's sex trafficking.
Right. Exactly.
So
that's a different version.
So let's say we on the Illinois border and we dip into Indiana. That's technically sex trafficking.
That's how I think they're doing it. I think they're doing it where like he was essentially having girls come from other states to come to this house, if I remember right? Mm-hmm. But you know, it wasn't just him. You know, him, his wives was even in this. Like I feel like they partially responsible for some of these girls showing up to these cribs too. Like his actual wife knew these girls at the crib who out there band. Mm-hmm. Like we all know the story. So I that's probably how they got him on sex trafficking, just because it was like an organized movement of girls to this house.
Hey, that was
probably how they got it.
That was another thing that I seen. It was like his wife brought up, I'm a victim too because not only was I there, but I had 2 kids by him and I was married to him. I'm like
she was stuck. That's
it's like that's you should have been the one to call the police.
I don't be buying. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like women love. I'm finna get canceled. I feel like they finna be mad, but I feel like women love to play like that victim role. Like they have no power in relationships. Like I get that when you were R. Kelly, like the power dynamic. There probably is one. I mean, it's R. Kelly, right? Rich, famous R. Kelly.
Right, of course.
I totally understand that. But at the same time, like, it's not like you completely absolved of, like, the role. I feel like you can't just completely be like, oh, okay, you know, she was being manipulated. Like, I mean, was she the whole time? Like, or was someone, like, half the time, R. Kelly was saying he wasn't even home. Like, she taking care of the shorties that he got there, and he not even there.
Right.
Like, I get that some people can be manipulated so much that they'll do anything, even when the watchful eye is not there. Like, I get Stockholm Syndrome, so out there, all this other stuff. But I just feel like can you really just be, like, free of all guilt just because it's like, R. Kelly tricked me, just like he tricked all these other girls. Like, I just feel like he rich and famous. He ain't really trick you to be there. You was there because you was getting something out of it.
He played a very prominent role in the relationship, so
right. Yeah, like I don't know. I just feel like there has to be some sort of response. I don't even know. Like to my knowledge, it's not like she being charged with them, right?
I don't believe so.
Right. No one else is getting charged with R. Kelly, right? Based on everything I've seen, that's it. I just feel like that's a little bit wild.
It is. It's ridiculous.
Like nobody else getting nothing. Like at least she could do a 3-month bid. Like.
But I was watching this other people talking about this, and they asked a really good question. Like, if you were on R. Kelly's payroll, would you have told on him if he was getting paid? Like, he was your meal ticket basically. He was like you was. I agree,
right? But if you accept the money from him, do you know is like let's say you a hitman's assistant, you know your man's is out here murdering people, and you taking bread like. Yeah. That's on you. Like, right. You know your man murdering people.
I'm saying that if it was you that worked for him, like people would be like, oh, somebody should have brought him in like earlier. But if you worked for him and like
he was your livelihood,
yeah,
right? Would you snitch?
Yeah.
Probably not, but at the same time, I feel like it depends on how egregious what's happening is. And that's why I'm saying like if R. Kelly, like let's say I'm in a situation where he's feeding my family and stuff, but he doing why? Like what? Like you gotta have some sort of integrity, some sort of morals. And Buddy out here really, if you know Buddy really out here cracking 15 and 16-year-olds, and you still getting cut a check and you cool with it, that's crazy.
I mean, I look at it like this. You know, back in the day when the drug dealers was getting big money, they'd take care of the neighborhoods. They'd pay Granny some bread to, you know what I'm saying?
Got this whole neighborhood. That's why nobody told about El Chapo.
And that's what I'm saying. So like. Is that
that's a little bit different though. I feel you. That's a little bit different because like we know about neighborhood heroes, right? Like dudes who like you said, like it's a neighborhood drug dealer, but he got the bread and he's spreading the wealth to the kids in the streets and other stuff like this, and taking care of people. It's a little different because the only reason we let those people rock like that is because the neighborhoods are already in a situation where like you feel
like we ain't getting no.
We really ain't getting no. Right. Like you basically are government. You feel what I'm saying? And I like El Chapo, like.
But let's
he was their man's like.
Let's say that R. Kelly's whoever the hell was helping them at the time, they got felonies, they can't get a job. R. Kelly offered them a job, $100,000 a year. You just got to keep these bitches on the leash. Like, is that something that could happen?
I understand. Yeah, I mean, I understand why somebody might rock like that. I can get it. Like if that's the only bread, like again, they always say going back to hand that feed you. If that's how you get fed, that's how you take care of your family. I get why you might not snitch.
I just think we celebrating a little bit too early. We don't know, like these charges carry anything from you saying like 3 to 10 or some shit like that? Like
I think he should get. He should get 3 to 10. That's what I believe.
But in all reality, charges carry such a wavery like length that it can be. Yeah, we charging this motherfucker with racketeering and sex trafficking, and he get 2 years.
He still could technically only do 2.
And 10 years of probation or some weird shit like that.
Yeah,
and I don't think people understand, again, being a part of motherfuckers that do crime, you kind of understand the law a little bit, but if somebody gets 10 years of probation, that's like serving time. So they consider that time. You know what I'm saying? So people, let's relax. We got the verdict. This nigga's guilty. We understand that. Wait till we hear how much his sentences is going to be.
I think.
But free my man Bill Cosby, because that obviously.
But I will make it clear on R. Kelly. Everybody here agrees that he should be in jail.
He should have.
Wait, he should have been in jail. He should have been way long time ago.
This is what I'm saying. He should have been deaded a long
time ago. Right. Like he definitely should be doing some bids. It's just we more talking about the charges they really got. They trying to put on him don't 100% make sense. You know, we're not lawyers though, so you know we'll figure it out as time goes on.
And that's always been my problem. Is like these cases that affect kids, these motherfuckers should be thrown under the jail. But what we've seen, especially in the state of Illinois, is like drug dealers get these maximum sentences, pedophiles get released.
This was in New York, wasn't it?
No, he hasn't even got charged from New York yet.
He got a New York one, he got an Illinois one.
I think he just got charged with Illinois.
He still got cases. He still got court dates.
I think he still got one in Minnesota.
Yeah, he still got court dates. But again, all this stuff is still up for appeals. All this stuff is still up. Right? We ain't gonna see R. Kelly actually go to jail for this.
I mean, he's not sentenced
or prison
to like May, right?
It's gonna be a little bit.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
It was something like that.
I mean, again, you gotta understand, G. Like, how long has he been locked up?
Now?
Like a year, 2 years?
So if he's been locked he still got bail. He just can't afford it.
So like, let's just say he's been locked up for 2 years. In all reality, I feel like this is a play, by the way. If he's been locked up for 2 years, that's 4 years time served.
Technically, right, exactly.
People need to understand that.
Yeah, right.
And I feel like people...
Technically, that's 4 years off the...
Exactly.
100.
So people need to look at what's going on.
And don't be surprised if Loki he out in the next 5. Exactly. You think he's gonna go for the rest of your life, and come to find out
he home in May.
Yeah, come to find out your daughter graduating and R. Kelly getting out. No bullshit.
Because a lot of these sentences, even if he goes, because again, you say, hey, he can't afford bail. Let's just say he's just sitting there. Right now, you on trial. You're not sentenced, so on and so forth. You get sentenced from Illinois, New York, and Minnesota. Those sentences can run concurrent, and you can get out. And so, like, if they sentence you in May and they say 5 years, you technically at that point have served those 5 years.
Right. No, I mean,
I just want to give people a reality of the situation.
We'll see, right? We'll see.
But again, anything that's fucking with kids, I feel like the motherfucker should be thrown under the jail. That's what
I'm saying. Like, I'm not. Ain't nobody condoning no like that. I mean, it's crazy some of the stuff that R. Kelly has supposedly done, or that we know he at least did, 100% did.
We know.
Yeah, we know some things he 100% did. There's no discrepancy.
These motherfuckers, they sick. These are some sick motherfuckers, bro. Like, again, there's no.
We should talk about that though, like how. I guess it's not just recently being exposed, but over the course of the past, like 5 years, we've been seeing like just how crazy deep the child sex trafficking and child pornography and all this other shit is running through Hollywood.
What's that movie? Spotlight, and it was talking about those Catholic priests that be touching on boys and how they just move them to another spot. Again, bro, like the nigga that directed all those X-Men movies was a pedophile, and he got like cases solved out of court, and nobody talks about it.
I mean, it is a Hollywood problem, but like regular people is just like that too. It's just like it's
1,000%
everywhere. It has to touch Hollywood, just like it's touching like every profession. I'm sure has a bunch of weird people.
100% agree, but I think to the level because there's so much money and fame involved with the Hollywood pedophile scene, they can be more low key, but they also can obviously acquire way more children. So like, yeah, we know obviously there's pedophiles. Like there's pedophiles. There are people out here preying on little girls. You know, it could be a nigga down the street. Mm-hmm. But because it seems like in Hollywood they have so much money and access, I mean they having girls shipped out. You know what I'm saying? Like girls getting flown in on full. There's stories of girls being flown in on private jets, like from other countries to come to dudes' house and islands and all that. You know, the whole Epstein and stuff, all that stuff. Like when you really think about that, like that's crazy. Like to the level of like child sex trafficking that's happening, like the level of it, like.
And that's what I don't understand. It's like y'all getting these kids to do it. Well, there's bitches out here that's gonna do it for nothing.
Yeah, no cap. You can get a 20-year-old girl to do just about anything for a couple of dollars. So I don't even know why they want these things.
Not for free.
Like, so
I bitch, come on, I'm flying you to Iowa. It's like,
but 100 feet. But I think that's why, like, again, that's kind of why, like, when people try to make the argument about pedophiles being being a mental illness.
Nah, bro.
No, listen, but to your own logic though, like you just said, it does not logically make sense.
People are sick, man.
You see what I'm saying? Like it doesn't logically make sense to like you want kids when we just saying you can get bitches of age for nothing.
I honestly think these people.
So it's like, what's really up? What's up with these people?
So look, I get your point, and that's why they are trying to like legalize certain shit, right? And
it's not gonna make it legal. It's just
they are trying to legalize it to the point of calling it a sickness. That way, it's not a crime, so on and so forth.
I agree. They're trying to move it to where this is not going to be an actual criminal offense, but it'll be like if you have schizophrenia and you do something out of your schizophrenia. Right. Like you won't go to jail, but you'll. Now
let's say like a schizophrenic. I have schizophrenic people in my family. Let's just say we're walking down the street and there's a schizophrenic person. I'm with my family, and they do something to my family. And I fuck them up. Does that not it doesn't take away the fact that he just did something to my family.
No, right.
Yeah, he's sick. Yeah. But he got what the fuck he deserved.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
No.
And I get where people are coming from as far as like, we need to worry about this thing. It's a mental issue, so on and so forth. Okay, get these people some help. Get them off the streets because at the end of the day,
agree on that. Yeah, they definitely should be somewhere.
Yeah, right. Not just saying
100%. I'm just saying I'm not. I don't know if necessarily jail is the right place. Prison might not be the right place.
It isn't. But just like when they say that like drug addicts are sick, it's the same thing. The same concept. You don't send them to jail so they can just sit there and. But in jail, you send them like to get better.
Sadly, you do.
They do, but they're
also rehab.
There's like when the crack era happened, it was just everybody in jail. Yeah. Now when the opioid stuff, they're like, these people are sick now.
It's because of who is
But at least they're understanding at least. So black people could be on opioids and they want to be like, he's black, he's just take him to jail. He's sick too. Like these people are actually sick, and they're actually realizing. They realize it for a wrong reason, but they're actually realizing it.
No. Yeah, 100%. I do think it's good that there is more emphasis on mental illness again. Just like because there's just a lot of people who just kind of like really, really fucked up out here, and we would have this conversation another time. We were talking about like how they used to call them insane asylums, but we don't even have like places anymore where people who just clearly shouldn't be with everybody else.
Right.
We don't even have places like that. Like all of them got shut down. Like there really is no. That's why our streets are full of homeless people with schizophrenia and all these other mental illnesses. And that's why we have jails full of people who are also mentally ill. Because they used to go to hospitals, and now they're just in prison.
We don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
So like, we're gonna hold off on that. Yeah, something else to talk about. Well, we were talking about relationships. We could talk about a safe relationship thing right now. But what was it? It was something we grabbed out of it. It was about a relationship.
Oh.
It got into a relationship.
Oh, I don't remember. You talking about Mitch was saying that bitches they get uglier if you see them too many times?
That's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oversimplified it.
Well, yeah, I'm obviously simplified.
That's actually what it was. And what was the? Yeah, how did it happen?
talking. We was watching the preview for Crown or Heights, whatever.
But then that turned into alcohol, though.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was a different conversation. We was watching that thing. I was saying the shorty was better than.
Oh, that's what it was. It was like, motherfuckers was saying that these women were top tier, and I was like, no, they're decent. I mean, again, like it's not like they were drop dead. Don't get me wrong. Like again, I know a beautiful woman when I see one, but there's decent. Again, like you just see them a regular everyday type shit, and then there's like supermodel status. And the way that M3 was like guarding all over these women was like they were like the
first of all,
top tier.
That's not going on there.
Top tier thing.
Second of all, it's like once you like get to Rihanna level, if you like think Rihanna's like the baddest chick in the world, if you do or not, it doesn't matter. If she's like the top tier, like you're not gonna have a bunch of girls that look like her or as fine as her, but they could still be like 9s or 8s.
You know what? That's not what it was. It was we see Rihanna every day, so Rihanna doesn't look as good as when we first seen her or some shit.
She was worse when we first seen her.
No, but you were saying that you think a girl is bad. No, y'all wild.
No. We were talking about before she got her teeth fixed. If you talking about OG Rihanna, first time we saw Rihanna,
let me tell you about.
She was a little bit busted, but I don't even want to say that because she was like 16. So it's like we're talking about a little girl.
No,
let me tell you about these other women.
Yeah. But that's the thing, we was little too. Yeah.
They are always just drop dead gorgeous for no reason. You see island women.
I mean, yeah, they be bad, but
I'm talking about a bum on the street and she be bad for no reason. Like, man,
it be sometimes. A lot of times they.
But either way, that wasn't the point. The point was, Mitch was saying Rihanna is bad, right? Let's just say it wasn't Rihanna, but she is bad. But if you went to school with Rihanna, you've seen her every day, she's not going to be as bad to you because you see her every day.
Yeah, if a new person came to that school and she'd be like, oh my God, she's like the baddest girl in the world, be like, oh, you just talking about Rihanna.
No,
it's
that's
not like
true. That's not true.
It's not like she's less attractive. It's just like, oh yeah, you know her now.
And I'm also thrown off about this because Mitch is a relationship guy. So I feel like if you're in a relationship with a woman, you're saying, I see her every day, I don't think she's bad.
Yeah, Mitch is really saying is he can't be in a relationship with no girl because he gonna be over her at the first couple months.
You ain't even. I rolled over.
You was bad yesterday.
Exactly. When I rolled over last week, you was good. Now
it's not that. Like if you married for 30 years, of course you're still gonna think your wife is beautiful, but you're not gonna say, oh, your wife is like. You're trying to pursue her anymore. Like, oh, she's like the most perfect girl in the world.
But that's what we lose.
You think that.
That's why motherfuckers be scooping in and grabbing our women. And be like, hey, you stop doing good things for them. And then here go this Denzel, Michael B. Jordan ass nigga, you want to buy flowers? Like, hey, your man ain't treating you right. And then the scoop
and then, like the saying goes, there's behind every bad chick is a dude that's tired of her crap. It's the same thing.
But that's because some bad chicks come with a lot of bullshit because they feel like it's okay to come with bullshit.
And that's part of it. Like when you say somebody be like, oh.
But if you meet a bad chick in a nigga, we grown now. So you meet a bad chick in her 30s, that shit already happened.
No, it's not.
You ain't got to deal with it.
It's like personality.
That's in the past.
Personality goes with your looks. If you that person that like, oh, she can't be that bad if she like got a crappy personality. But if you get to know somebody, know her for a long time, like, oh, I know you now. I know your personality. I know what you like and don't like. So it's not like.
So Mitch saying,
see, no, I'm not. This is a waste of record right now.
If a girl is too pretty, she got a bad attitude.
No, we can say this like, okay, but like. That's one of those things though. Like everybody always says, right? Like the baddest chicks always be having like the worst personalities. Why? Because they never actually had to have one to like, like get friends or to have guys who want them. So they always have like terrible person. Do y'all feel like that's true? Like all the women that y'all met as you gotten older, like when you meet pretty women really objectively pretty women that you know everybody think is pretty. Do you find that they have worse personalities? Or do you find that that's kind of bullshit? A lot of times they really just...
And then when you mess with her, she find out that her feet stink or she don't take showers all the time. And you be like, okay, she's less attractive because of that. Because you get to know the person rather than just seeing them for the first time.
What does her feet stink have to do with anything?
If you met a girl and her feet
stink,
she's going to be less attractive to you.
I'm going to be like, hey, we got to fix this foot problem.
Exactly. Well...
Nigga, get some baking soda, some odor eaters.
You're not understanding.
What are we talking about, bitch?
You're not understanding.
No, you saying that. I was about to put some bullshit.
You about to say some wild shit. You about to say some OG shit that don't even make no sense.
If the girl too pretty.
But no, what I'm saying is, have y'all noticed, like, and y'all, because I'm saying that's a common thing people say. The baddest women always have the worst personalities because they never have to actually have to be funny. They never actually have none of the, like, you know what I'm saying, like things that actually make a person personable. They don't have to do it.
It all depends on where they come from. It's the upbringing too. Because I met some bad women that came from the hood. And then I met some bad women that was in college prep schools that, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, the attitudes are going to be different because of the upbringing. I don't think it has anything to do with, because I've seen, how do I say this? I've just seen motherfuckers act like, you know how bitches be like, hey, act your wage type shit, like, it's certain shit you shouldn't be doing.
Immature?
No, not age, wage. Like, if you don't make this type of money.
Type stuff.
Yeah,
lanes don't
pretty
exist.
Huh?
Lanes don't exist.
Lanes exist.
No, it doesn't.
Lanes exist.
Wait, what are we saying?
When a girl be like, stay in your lane, like if you
because
don't make
she's
enough,
used to dating the niggas that's out. And sometimes you don't even know if they're making money, but the perception is they're making money.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's definitely levels to, for women. It is just remember, again, like women and men, they looking for different stuff, right? Like, most women, they want, the type of man they want to have, you know, more money than them or whatever it is. And then, like, depending on what they're used to, yeah, they gonna curve a nigga they think is not gonna be able to provide if they've had it before, right? Like, if they've been with somebody that, you know, put, like, we talking about, like, these crazy, like, model chicks. Yeah. Like, they got niggas buying them penthouses and shit.
But that's what I'm saying, like model chicks. You say it's model chicks, and it's like everything that they got can be purchased. I'm talking about from the womb to the tomb, natural. This is beauty, you know what I'm saying? And that's the person I'm talking about. I ain't talking about the bitches that go to Dr. Miami every other year.
The women you're talking about are like the shallowest people. The people that regular people don't even want.
What are we talking about? What?
Like the people that only want the rich
Mitch
people?
saying...
Okay, I'm going to turn this off.
he got a thing. And he does it on purpose. It's not even... It wasn't even an accident.
I know.